Yeah.
Those sweet, sweet Naughty Dog teats.
Yeah. They're quite sweet. Vitamin D milk. They still sell that in the States, right?
And I have
Everyone just goes silent on it.
I don't know. Usually it's the caps are the color of remember, vitamin D milk is red, skim milk is pink.
All right,
He didn't get
we are
the
officially live, gentlemen.
Okay.
Evan didn't get it last time, where we all ignored him when he was talking about milk. So he just carried on. So I'm going to own this.
I
don't care if you're not listening to me.
I think I did capture the first little part where you guys are talking about Naughty Dog teats.
Well, yes. Evan just loves them so much. He can't bring his lips away from them. I mean, we had to drag him here away from The Last of Us Part 2.
I drank myself into a stupor. I had like a little milk nap.
Milk nap.
I just woke up from it and barely awake. Yeah. The sweet nectar. Yeah.
Sweet, sweet Naughty Dog teat nectar. Hello, welcome to Pixel Pints, episode 4. Double the number of entries than there have been Last of Us games. So that must mean we're better, more popular.
If you look at the user reviews on Metacritic, it's not hard.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask. Let's get through the intro before I butcher this shit too badly. We're a group of people from around the world here to talk about two things that we like, which is craft beer, sometimes cider, and video games. And we're here to do both today. So we'll let some people who are obsessed with Naughty Dog talk about The Last of Us Part 2 for a bit. Matt needs to throw down the gauntlet to Evan to claim back at least some of the 8 points that he's behind in the quiz. And then we're going to talk about the EA Play Live 2020 event.
Yes.
Great.
I'm listening. I'm listening to everything.
But first, Dan, I wanted to ask you, because you posted the photo on the Pixel Pints podcast official Instagram page, who you can follow at Pixel Pints Pod on Instagram, or you can also follow us on Twitter at Pixel_Pints. Was having the steelbook of The Last of Us Part 2 like having a grapefruit explosion, or whatever it is that Brewdog claim that their grapefruit beer tastes like? Is it a comparable thing? So
I have a confession of why I got the steelbook. Actually, the reason was I went onto Amazon to order The Last of Us, the normal edition. It wasn't for sale at the time, the pre-order, and then I went on the PlayStation Network store and discovered that the base game was, I think, 56 quid. But the steelbook version on Amazon was 52 quid. So I was like, well, I'll just pay 52 quid and get the steelbook. But
you got a deal.
The artwork was quite nice on it, actually, on the outside. I quite liked it. But I didn't really notice the grapefruit fantastic flavour. I like the Brewdog, but I did think they kind of went a bit overbearing on that. But hey, that labelage on it. But no, it was nice. It was a nice drink. But yeah, I don't think it was as explosive grapefruit as it says on the bottle.
Right. So before you, Evan, you and Liam start talking about The Last of Us, Matt, do you want to issue your challenge to Evan?
I challenge you, sir, to a duel. Classic arcade Mario duel. So yeah,
challenge accepted.
What I was trying to do on Twitter, which didn't come across, was...
It did to me. I knew what you were saying.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Evan was like clueless. He's like, what are we doing on Pixel Pints this week? I don't...
What's going on?
But yeah,
he didn't, like we said, he didn't care. He was thinking about Naughty Dog's sweet, tasty udders and drinking that Last of Us 2 part 2 juice.
Yeah, so
Something like
my
that.
idea was just classic old school arcade challenge. It'll be a week. We each have a week, right, from today until the next Pixel Pints to record a
Yeah.
clip of us getting our highest score in versus Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, which is, of course,
And,
the arcade version, which is slightly more difficult than the original.
Oh man, slightly. I don't know about that. Might be
It's pretty ridiculous.
It's a pretty damn hard game. I bought that thinking it would be awesome. Like, hey, I'll play a bit of Mario. This is years ago. And I was like playing the first level. I was like, holy shit, this is hard. I haven't played it since.
Yep, same here.
It
I figured that
chased me away.
I figured that was the case. So,
yeah.
Right. Before you three start talking about one of the most anticipated releases of this year, and Matt and I just tune out for a bit.
yeah.
And probably start exchanging messages in the chat. Who's got any beers they want to talk about?
I have one. Anyone else?
Oh yeah, I have one.
What do you think, Dan? You want to go first, or?
You can go first.
All right. Been saving this one. I had it since last week. This is, I think everyone's familiar with Hitachino to some degree. I know it's available in the States. I think, Dan, you had said that you had seen it.
I've never.
It's a very you can get it, but you can't get it at Waitrose. You have to order it from the from Japanese home store. It's called. And it does all the Japanese beer. It does all three of the variety. We will be So hopefully at some point we'll be reviewing one of those beers from Japan.
Okay, so the makers are Kiuchi Brewery, and I believe they originally brew sake, and then they already had like this huge brewing facility, and then they just said like, oh hey, why don't we just make beer too? So they have their sake stuff, and then Hitachino is their beer brand per se, the Hitachino Nest beer. I actually really like the did I throw it away? Oh no, here it is. Yeah, I like their logo, the little owl on the bottle cap here. So this is a Saison du Japon. It's a Saison beer, which tend to be quite low in alcohol, between 4 and 5. This is 5%. I haven't had it yet. So Saison, you got a yeast that is actually similar to like a red wine yeast, and it's supposed to be actually very a pain in the ass to work with, but you get that classic bit of citrus on the nose, a bit of pepper, quite carbonated. You can see all the bubbles here in my really small glass, which is actually a Mino glass.
Do you guys find that saisons have a little bit of a chalkiness to them?
Mm.
Yeah, I think you just ruined that for me, because the second you said that, I was like, this kind of tastes like chalk. Kind of. And I think, no, you're right, but I think it must have to do with the yeast, because the thing about saisons is like, the yeast is from what I've read, is a very particular yeast that's quite different from other yeast, and that maybe that's just something that is a flavor profile that's emitted once the beer has been fermented.
Yeah,
like I don't know. I can't really put my.
I feel like that's a variety I have maybe once every 6 months, because it's usually a combination of chalk and coriander that it's hard to do more than one.
Okay. See, usually it's a bit of citrus, like orange, sometimes lemon. This is a bit more orangey to me. One thing I do like about them is this is a bit too carbonated, so I don't know how many of these I would have, but it is quite light, which I do like. So this is definitely a sessions type beer. For the summer, it's a beer that should be slightly more chilled than others. So yeah, no, I really like this. This is a nice beer, and I do like their artwork. It's quite unique. So yeah, this is my beer. I enjoy it. It's good. Dan, how about yourself?
I'm drinking a London Pride. Fuller's London Pride. I left the bottle downstairs, so I can't show you the bottle, and I'm enjoying it. So I've drank quite a lot of it already. But no, it's good. Just typical British ale, pretty much.
You can get that in Japan. I saw it in the store yesterday. Yeah. I'll
so maybe it's something we may try. Maybe I'll put it in Matt's box. I was waiting to get paid before I ship everything. But yeah, that's cool. So also, while we're here, there'll be no palatable pints this week because Rafa sadly can't join us and Matt couldn't get hold of the beer. But we have agreed on a beer, so we'll be doing it next week.
And I can drink next week, so I can join in as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. It'll be it should be a good episode. I'll be on my lonesome next weekend, so just get trashed.
You'll have Joel and Ellie and whomsoever else to keep you company in the sweet embrace of a dystopian virus, fungal infected future.
And it will. It's like Cheers, basically, but a new version. But like the post-apocalyptic version of Cheers.
So getting on to TLOU 2, because we have to abbreviate everything. What do you, Evan? Why do you hate Stray? Because there's cats in it, but you love The Last of Us Part 2 so much, even though every dog in it you have to kill.
I will say one of the first things you do in The Last of Us 2 is pet a dog about 3 seconds into it, so they check that box. And slightly going back to the whole Stray deal, I feel bad last week. I think saying I fucking hate cats is a bit harsh. I would rephrase that as I severely dislike cats. However, looking at cats in pop culture, in your knockoff Pixar movies, what are the DreamWorks films? If it's a bunch of animals, what's the enemy? The final boss? It's always a cat. Dr. No, Dr. Claw. What are they petting on their throne? It's a cat. It's a disgusting, evil cat.
What did Blofeld have in the Bond films? He had a cat.
Yeah, he had a cat. Paw Patrol, that lovely, shitty CG show for kids. It's dogs. You know why? Dogs have actual legitimate dogs. They save people's lives. They dig through mudslides and rubble after earthquakes to find human beings. Seeing eye dogs give people who couldn't necessarily go outside due to their disabilities and give them a brand new life.
I've never understood that name for them.
Seeing eye dogs?
Seeing eye dogs.
We just called them guide dogs.
It was the guy in the meeting in the back who was half asleep, and he's like, "Hey, give me an idea." Seeing eye dogs. All right, we're going with that.
Maybe he's the same person that's come up with the naming, the nomenclature for the Xbox Ones.
Same guy. Yeah, his first job was he was on the dog committee, and then he changed jobs to Microsoft.
Because in the UK we called them guide dogs because they help guide people who are blind.
Yep.
You called them seeing eye dogs because they see with their eyes.
Yes. Yeah. Come on now. Every now and then, being that direct is. It serves its purpose. Yeah. Guide dogs, if you will. It's always dogs. Dogs can send you to jail if you have drugs while you're wandering through the airport, right?
A cat will just rub his face against your leg.
Yeah, he'll think it's catnip and just do a little meow. Yeah. This dog, he'll sniff your balls and send you to jail.
And make him maul you to death.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
right.
Why.
So now that's enough of that shit. Matt, should we just let these three idiots ramble on for how long? How long should we give them? Should we put them on timer?
Let's see. We're 14 minutes into the episode right now. I would give them a maximum of 2 minutes.
Right. So you've got five minutes to discuss your initial impressions, and then I've actually got a sensible question that I want to ask everyone.
Okay.
And go.
How does everybody feel about it? Just in general, is everybody mostly positive on it, or do they have something to the contrary?
I'd like to hear Liam first because I know it's your favorite. You labeled this as your favorite game of the decade.
Yeah, it has a high standard to live up to.
I will say, just initially, I really like it. At this point in the game, only about 5 hours in, it does feel like more of The Last of Us. It's not reinventing the wheel. It hasn't really done anything new yet. That's not a bad thing. There has been some story beats that's like, okay, yeah, this is like Naughty Dog level storytelling. I love the characters, the facial animations, that stuff's all great. But at this point, gameplay wise, it hasn't done anything new. However, I'm really, really enjoying it. Liam, how about yourself?
Well, I would say I'm enjoying the gameplay a lot, like so far. Even though, you know, I mean, when you go straight from The Last of Us into part 2, it's kind of jarring, sort of being back to the top of the skill tree and not like having all of the weapons at your disposal, and you know, the game sort of slowly teaching you how to play it again, even though you already know essentially. You know, it's like, oh, stabbing a clicker in the back is child's play. But I must admit, I am a little bit concerned in that I think I thought the beginning portion of the game was fun to play, but I thought it was quite clumsily told. I thought the storytelling was a lot more clumsy than in the first game.
I think I know what you're talking about. I'll have to message you offline if that's what you mean, yeah.
And the game has a habit of... And I don't know, because like it's kind of strange. It's a strange position to be in, being so early in the game, but then also being like, why is this character here? I'm not sure I understand the significance of this character.
Are you that early on?
I'm pretty early on, and no, I'm not that early on. I'm past that part. But that's not. It's not the so-called trans woman that everybody won't shut up about.
Oh no, I didn't mean that. Yeah, I think I know. I think I know where you are, Liam. It does become clear.
It's strange how certain characters are in the narrative, and it doesn't quite fit. It's like this character, like their personality, their character traits, their sort of arc hasn't been explained, and it doesn't make much sense as to why they're even in the story to the degree that they are. I just found it's, I don't know, it's narratively a little bit confusing.
So you're halfway through.
Not even close. Apparently this game is
no, you've got 2.5 minutes left.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so I'm a little bit concerned for the rest of the experience, but how do you guys feel?
Go ahead, Dan.
I would say, as Matt and Keith know, when we talked about this about 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, on either this show or our previous show, I was very down on this game. Well, after I watched the PlayStation reveal kind of event for it, very down, and I was very ominous about playing it. But actually, I've loved every single minute, and I'm actually quite enjoying the story. But maybe, I don't know. And I think it was quite a clever... Well, maybe we're talking about something different, but what I thought was clever was how they brought a character in, then you actually saw, oh, crap.
I think if I'm thinking of the same thing as you, then I think I fully agree with you.
Yeah. But, and then the only thing I was annoyed about, which is really insignificant, really, and I was like, oh, that's a shame, is when you first, in the beginning, it's like snowy, and you walk through the snow, and I immediately turned around, and only sometimes you had footprints in the snow, and sometimes you didn't. And that's a really stupid thing to pick it up on, but I'm like, well, either do it or don't do it. Don't have this weird middle ground. And then when you got the deep snow, you were just like like there was no footsteps. You were just like being like a plow, snow plow, just going through the snow, and that irritated me.
You know what I've done? Because I'm playing on hard. I'm gonna play Survivor next, so that my hard playthrough, I'm doing the Tim Rogers version of this, where he doesn't do the look for little trinkets things. If the characters are walking slowly towards a point, don't move the camera to see stuff. Just play it as if it's supposed to be a cinematic. I've been doing that and keeping on that, and it's helped me not look at those things and just kind of be in the moment. On my second playthrough, well, I mean, when you're searching around like houses for like ammo and stuff, you need to do that stuff, you know, because it's important that you have as much ammo and equipment as possible. But for the cinematic stuff, I'm trying to keep away from that. But
and the other thing I wanted to say was what Keith mentioned, and when we talked about this before, was about your partner. So you do have a partner at some stages, and they're better at trying to stay away from you being detected. But there has been times already. There has been times already where I thought, well, she'd be seen, but I haven't been seen, and that irritated me a little bit. So that probably mainly two. But the rest of it, I've really enjoyed. I love the game. It's really like moment by moment stuff. I'm on the edge of my seat playing it. I was playing till like 1 a.m. last night, just like, holy shit, this is insane. Every moment. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Okay. Bottom line in quotations. There's a dodge button. A+. Thank God. I love it.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
So many survival horror games. You're crowded around, and the only thing you can do is do a 180. This game actually gives you a dodge.
Yeah, it lets you dodge back. Yeah, that is cool.
Resident Evil Revelations 2, which is a great Resident Evil game that no one talks about. It's a fucking tragedy, but yeah, got a dodge button. A+. It's so good. Everyone's like, where's Resident Evil 4? It's Revelations 2. That's the Resident Evil 4. That's the game you should play.
So far, I'm enjoying it, and I'm 7.5 hours in.
Same here. I like it.
Right. So now for the sensible question that I was going to ask. Well, actually, a stupid question and a sensible question. Following on from the first one, do you still have to be in love with a brick?
Actually, the brick's more useful than before. You can do a lot more with the bricks.
That's true. The answer is
yes. Bricks are so versatile.
And I quite like that,
how versatile bricks really are.
You know, I just love it, finding bricks everywhere. There's always a brick. It's just lying somewhere.
Or a bottle. Brick or a bottle. But I feel the brick's a bit more useful than the bottle.
No, I hate the bottles. Fuck the bottles. I prefer the bricks.
Me too. But no, what I liked about... I didn't think you could do it in the last game. I will mention this. I don't think it's a spoiler. Is that you can break glass. I really enjoy that mechanic. I don't know why.
I know.
You can break it with your knife as well.
Keith, you can. But I like doing it with the brick.
It sounds so stupid, but there are several points where like, this door's locked. What do I do? And it's like, oh, if this was the real world, just smash the fucking window and jump through the window. So in this game, it lets you do that, and you're like, why is everyone praising this? I understand it, but it is fucking cool when you can just like, just hit it with the hammer and jump in. Yeah.
Can you throw the brick through the window and then go and pick up the brick again and say, nice brick, I will keep you with me, I will never leave you behind?
No, brick's dead. Brick dies.
I want to say that I did do that, but there could have been a brick inside, so I don't know if it was the same brick.
There's probably just another brick in
So the actual sensible question is, why for the love of God are people review bombing this?
Because they're immature little babies. I don't think it's just homophobic people. In fact, I think the homophobic people are a small, annoying minority.
No, they are, but they are some of the reviews because I had a quick look through.
But it gets on my tits. Like I just have to say it gets on my tits how this game has all of a sudden become this great big focal point in left versus right. And
it's been politicized for some reason. It doesn't
make
any sense.
I don't necessarily know that it's, or think that it's because of the identity politics. I think that
it's strange because you see overlaps everywhere. Like you get.
Do you know what we should do to sort this out? We should ask J.K. Rowling what she thinks.
It's actually not.
But it's just like I think most people just want to play a game and not have to listen to everybody's hot takes. Coming from the left or the right, and it just gets.
Yeah, but what
really
I don't understand is this objectionist culture. If you don't like something, don't go onto a website and start saying that it's a load of shit because it's got something in it that you don't like. Just ignore it.
Well, what made me laugh?
It takes so much more effort. But just think of what you could do with that energy.
Right.
Keith, these reviews, the most hilarious ones, are obviously most of them have never even looked at this game because actually most of them came up in the first hour of when it went live and they allowed you to post your user review. And it's like, well, there's no way you played this game. It's only been live for 10 or an hour.
I have one question.
The game takes over 25 hours to complete, so
yeah, exactly.
Good luck.
I haven't seen anything but the initial trailer way back when. I haven't read or watched a single review. Did anyone say anything about the reviewer saying something about because of what's happening in this climate in 2020, this game is difficult to play or something like that?
No, but I read something somewhere they talked about that.
The only thing that I heard is that they've said it's a very, I think that it's not, at times it's not an enjoyable game to play.
It's a dark game. That's what I would say. 7.5 hours in, there's scenes in this, so I'm like, holy fuck. Like there is some dark, and there is some well, not real world comparisons, but there is things you're like, oh shit, a few things that way. It could be it could be the same. It could be the same as what's going on in today's world. Sorry about that. My
minus a fungal infection, but yeah, that's the only thing that I've heard, and that wasn't about any of the characters or.
Okay.
It was just the setting of the world is quite.
You've heard of one of the reasons that people are review bombing the game to do with the sexist part that Dan mentioned earlier. Is the character design of one of the new female characters? Abby, her name is Evan. I was just wondering what you guys thought of her design, because a lot of people have been comparing her to that of a trans woman, and I think that's rather ridiculous and quite offensive.
Someone posted that yesterday, and I read one, and I didn't really get what they're on about. So I'm glad you actually, because I didn't know they were talking about that character.
Yeah.
I missed that completely.
Just because she's super buff.
See, I haven't followed. I've kept complete blackout. That's so dumb. When I saw her, I was like, oh, this is like Linda Hamilton, Terminator 2. Like, people are fucking lifting weights and getting in shape because it's the apocalypse, and you have to be fit in order to survive. It doesn't matter who you are.
She's more realistic than all of the other characters in the game.
Dude, I'm surprised. I'm surprised there hasn't been like in the safe haven of like the town you're in, that there's not like a gym you can go and just start doing fucking squats and pull-ups to keep yourself in shape. Like, why wouldn't you do that? That would be one of the most important things that you could do. Yeah, I don't understand that.
Aerobic fitness would be better.
I don't think this is really a spoiler either. The most stupid fun this game I've had was the snowball fight at the beginning.
That was really good.
That just made me chuckle. I was just like, oh yeah, that's what I'd do. Yeah, actually, if I was actually in the world.
One thing that slightly annoyed me about that is Naughty Dog watched the reviews of people loving the water gun fight in Left Behind. They're like, all right, we need to do that again to introduce the shooting gameplay. But whatever, it was fun. Yeah.
Oh, did it have realistic snowball physics?
They exploded it pretty good.
All right, I have a question.
Did you guys like? Because I don't know what you guys did during that snowball fight, but I basically mercilessly attacked one of the children and kept chucking snowballs in one kid's face, and that kid was just eventually got so pissed. He was like, "Please, just leave me alone." And I love that the developers put that in.
Is there an achievement for that? Did an achievement?
No, there was not. I was just
get in trouble.
I like how you could flank them. That was fun. I just flanked them and hit them in the back of the head. That was always enjoyable. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but there you go.
There is no achievement for winning the snowball fight, because it counts how many snowballs that you've actually thrown and successfully hit. I was a bit disappointed in that, but yeah. Matt, you said you had a question?
Yeah, I was going to ask about horse testicles.
Yeah, I didn't look.
I looked. I could not find them.
But I didn't think they were there. They weren't obviously there. So.
God, Naughty Dog, you guys need to step your game up. Rockstar's already at that level.
Ridiculous. Yep. There's only one Rockstar. So.
It's the same thing as Dan mentioned earlier, because the snow physics really aren't that good. You're expecting like a lot better for a Naughty Dog game.
Especially if your game opens up with like a snow level, essentially.
Liam, and that's why I thought to myself, this is a next gen. I know it's this gen, but I mean, like, we're almost at the next gen. It's like, well, should you have held off 6 months and actually made sure that your snow prints actually sit in the snow? Because that really annoys me that they're just like, I was like,
I mean,
because you've done this obviously so it looks beautiful, but then that little thing at the beginning, and it was just because it was at the beginning of the game. It's like, really? Maybe they just missed it and they're going over it. Because later on, your footprints seem to count. And it just seems like and when someone first starts the game, they're going to look at that stuff. So have it work then, and then maybe phase it out, and people probably won't realize. But that's when I was looking for those things.
And then you see the cutscenes where the little movements in the face bring out so much emotion, and then you're like, oh, okay, then who cares about this now? I mean, I get it. I
was still pissed about the snow, honestly. I just wanted to do some, some stars in the snow.
The other thing I liked was the hair. The hair had good mechanics. The hair looked good.
I sent Keith a message.
I thought Keith would be happy with that.
Yeah, I know, but it's not next gen because they haven't got it on PS5. So
That's true.
It'll be on the
Oh,
PS5. Don't worry.
The one character's ponytail looked amazing.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, it was like you look like wow. Okay, there's like stray hairs sticking out. You know, it's kind of a bit unkempt. It's quite impressive. All right, so yeah, The Last of Us 2. I think we're all enjoying it. I'm holding off on the story because I just want to see where it goes. But I kind of get where Liam's coming from with some specific parts, but without giving anything away. But yeah.
Well, it's true, Evan. I mean, nobody could hardly judge the first game until they'd played the second half of it.
It's actually a very good point. Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Right, so let's get to the main event of the week, the highlight of the gaming summer calendar.
Yeah.
Maybe. With the EA Play event. Right. So before we get into the games, obviously I've given away my overall impression.
I think it was a missed opportunity. They could have opened up with EA Play. It's in the game.
Right.
It's actually,
creepy
that
face design that they brought in. Frostbite can make really fucking creepy faces.
What the hell is that from?
This
is Battlefield.
Battlefield, the next Battlefield. This is the new version of the new iteration of Frostbite engine. Is going to make really creepy faces.
They really just.
I thought that was Detroit Become Human 2. That's yeah. I don't know.
He looks so sinister. He could be a Nazi.
He looks like David from Prometheus, the alien film, like pretending to be a human.
Right. So let's run through the show. So Andrew Wilson came on and started talking about the state of the world.
Andrew Wilson.
And one thing that he said when he was talking about we want people to play games no matter if their gender, ethnicity, or personal preference. What the fuck did he mean by personal preference?
Like you just choose off a shelf?
Maybe
okay, I'll take that.
What console?
Maybe even if you're a Call of Duty gamer, you can still enjoy our games even though you didn't pick Battlefield.
So that was a really weird statement to make. I also thought that I'm big into donation shaming at the moment. So him saying EA, we've set up some actions. How much money did you make last year? And you're telling me that EA can't set up, say, like a bursary to get kids from inner cities or underprivileged backgrounds of whatever gender or ethnicity into EA-based apprenticeship programs to get them into game design. But no, well done, you've set up an action plan. Wankers. So following on from that, we had Mr. Pointless on this 53-minute event, Greg Miller.
That was weird to see him on that. I know he did last year's EA or E3 thing.
Yeah, but he was there actually hosting stuff, so it made more sense because there was guests and he could facilitate a conversation.
Yeah,
this
it's
was
like,
just, hi, I'm talking to a monitor.
Yeah,
how's everyone? This is great.
It was very strange.
So disjointed.
Did you guys follow the golden letters?
Oh fuck!
Fuck that shit! I hate that conference. Hated everything about it.
Awful.
Actually, I didn't watch this EA Play, so you
didn't miss anything, Evan.
The funny thing about this, Dan, is you saying you hate this. I thought this was so much better than most of the previous years, and it was still god awful.
At least I knew. I'd rather have the stuff I'm used to seeing. They had nothing. What have they been building for next gen? Fuck all. There's nothing for launch. No. It's bizarre. They didn't even show me gameplay from FIFA or Madden. They showed me some weird mechanical video. It was fucking ridiculous.
that was the one thing that I wrote down that was semi-positive. They finally understood that most people watching this don't give a shit about their sports franchises.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
But it is also kind of funny, like from Dan's point, that the only year you kind of would be a little bit interested in seeing the sports games is when they're moving to a new platform.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you couldn't have done this last year or the year before. Fuck you.
That's what I mean. They do it every other year. They showed me fucking like cage football last year, and now this year they can't show me anything. It's like, Jesus Christ. I just didn't see the point of it. They should have just released an A4 piece of paper saying, this is on Twitter, this is what we're doing. And I'd be like, thanks, EA, that's all you needed. It was a waste of my time.
All right,
And
so
at the time, it just upset me.
the one game I think that most of us are going to possibly play, Star Wars Squadrons. Is everybody?
Should we get to
play
that?
Yeah,
because that's the one that I've made the most notes on.
It should have just been a whole show on Squadrons with like a beginning and ending, quick montage of like everything else that they're doing. Because I think
bookcase it with FIFA and Madden,
or
and
yeah,
then,
or like some of the
put Squadron in the middle.
Some of the like they had the one game that looks like a Tim Burton animated film.
Lost in Random by Zoink Games.
Right, like that. Okay, that looks kind of cool. Like, there's probably going to be people that play that, right? It's like
Evan, imagine a video game with the aesthetic of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Do you play as Jack Skellington?
No,
the aesthetic, so not the setting.
Okay.
So it's a game that
graphical
looks.
setting.
Yeah, it looks like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Is it like 2.5D where you just like walk to the right?
It's 3D. Yeah. You play as a girl who is lost in this place called the Random, and she finds a friend called Dicey, who is a living dice.
Yeah, he's a giant dice.
Yeah, and you get to roll him to decide on a random sense of chance about what could happen in the world. And I may need to do a Dan and get up and move because I'm just realising I haven't charged my iPad before getting on this show, and I'm really hoping that it lasts.
Mine is not, so I'm going to grab my charger.
So on the other, since that's one of the new EA originals, so they're well done us. We like indie developers.
Well, yeah, it's like in the same vein as Unraveled.
Yeah, they end up rolling one of those out.
Yeah,
it's always one.
So the other one was from Hazelight, so the guy who did A Way Out.
Fuck the Oscars.
Joseph Ferris. Yeah,
that guy.
Fuck the Oscars. This actually looks quite interesting as well. It's called It Takes Two. And
what is it? A fucking 90s sitcom?
That's
It's. He said, "If go and watch the little vignette that they did. I quite like the look of this game." And he's talking. I want to see what it looks like. He's talking about managing the mechanics of games with the story, because in his view, sometimes people, when you're thinking about telling a story, it can get lost in the development process. So what he's tried to do, Dan's upside down. He's not hanging from the ceiling like
there you go.
This is going to be totally lost on all of our audio listeners.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pretending to be Spider-Man.
Yeah. So it's that of the three EA originals that they showed, Hazelight's game is probably the one that I'm most interested in. I'm going to jump back to part of the beginning because the final EA indie, whatever, EA original one, made no sense to me. So, Evan, they opened up after Greg Miller spouted his bollocks for about 30 seconds saying how amazing everything was with Apex Legends update.
Yeah.
Yay!
Wow, that's okay. That's good stuff.
So I was playing quite a lot of Apex Legends. I deleted it yesterday because I hadn't played it for a month.
Wow.
Wow, are you kidding me? That's actually big. That's big news. Not even being facetious.
Yeah.
And it's finally going cross
Liam,
right?
or come to what is that game called? Warzone, Warplayer.
Yes.
Warzone, yeah.
I normally delete. I nearly deleted Dauntless list yesterday.
No.
Didn't give me room. give me room for Last of Us 2. But
I have an
I
idea.
deleted one other game. I was all right. Didn't need to.
Delete all of that shit. Delete it all and play a fucking game that you buy for a single price. It's a single player game. It has a start and an end, and then you move on to a new game.
So the only interesting thing that they said about the next Apex Legends update was mobile respawn points.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think it'll probably change the dynamic quite a bit.
Yeah, that is interesting.
But not enough, thank you very much, to keep me playing. And the reason that I wanted to mention about Apex Legends is because the next EA original is from Final Strike Games' Rocket Arena, which is
totally
another Battle Royale game.
Oh.
Yep.
So EA are going to have 2 Battle Royale games.
Oh, to be fair to EA, that game is going to die. Like it's just, it looks so bad.
That Rocket Arena game looks very strange. Well, it looks like, you know what would do well on the Switch? They should just release it on Switch alone.
No,
that would do well there.
That's the one platform that they ignored.
No, everything's coming to Switch now.
No, that's the one. That's the one game that they're like they did not mention that it was going to.
Did they not?
Switch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's the game it should go to.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would buy it.
Yeah, I was really confused as to why they've even greenlit that game.
It looked like a mobile game that they decided, let's release this for console.
Well, no, they didn't greenlight it. I think they acquired it, didn't they? I'm pretty sure it was being made anyway, and then acquired it.
Bought the rights.
From who?
Oh,
yeah,
try and make a new Dead Space, but they can finance that shit.
They wouldn't make a proper Dead Space sequel anyway.
I'm really confused as to why you try and release another Battle Royale game to compete with your own Battle Royale game. Did they not learn anything from releasing releasing Battlefield and Titanfall 2 at the same time? Battlefront.
Yeah. Well, Keith, there's an even more recent example. They released Apex Legends in February of last month, and then they released Battlefield 5 Firestorm the next month, and it died on arrival.
Yeah.
So everybody was still playing Apex.
Yeah.
So I'm really confused. I'm generally confused by this whole presentation.
I was just pissed off.
It's like
royally, I'll be honest.
It's like a sick.
I was
market
pissed
battle.
off. I knew I shouldn't have expected much, but I thought, like Liam said earlier, if they were ever going to show us some decent shit, it'd be for the next gen, and looks like they've just been fucking doing nothing.
This bloke. This is all we saw from next gen. This creepy looking bastard is next gen. I'm sorry for the guy who's modelled this face on, because he was probably in a mocap studio for God knows how long, taking hundreds of thousands of pictures of his face, and this is what comes up at the presentation, him looking this creepy.
I mean, to be fair, he could be a villain. He could be.
Yeah, we want you to look really creepy. Can you do that for us? Great, just stay like that.
Do your best. Do your best Mark Strong impression. And
who else thought the Sims presentation was initially quite affirming, but then became far too PR orientated?
Well, I found it exceedingly funny that they were talking about. It's like, we need to make the Sims audience, we need to make Sims itself more inclusive. It's like, but you create your character. How much more inclusive can it be?
Yeah, I was a bit confused by it, if I'm honest.
You can literally design an entire town of people.
Yeah, they could be any gender you like. It's the Sims.
Yeah.
And I think was it almost like, we do this already, so come join our ecosystem. That's kind of what I got from it.
Yeah. So initially, I thought some of what the people they had talking was kind of okay, great. This is quite affirming, but then the more it went on, the more I felt like it was being rammed in my face as a PR stunt rather than these are genuine attempts to create an inclusive gaming environment.
Yeah.
Because it's The Sims. You do create whoever you want to be. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
You've told
yeah,
us what
I
the
don't
game
know.
is.
I don't know what they mean by that.
The other thing that I took away from this, I'm doing a lot of talking today, but fuck it, I don't care.
Fine.
Um,
You got the notes.
is Origins as a platform doing really badly?
Yes, it always has been.
Yeah, I think it
It's
must be.
always been a fucking terrible platform.
It has,
I've contended the entire time that they've had it that they just need to put their games on fucking Steam, which they finally have done, which is the smartest thing that they could ever do. Ubisoft
But not
needs
the
to
Epic
get.
Game Store.
Well, yeah, I'm sure
But there were
Valve gave money, but-
a few games on the Epic Game Store. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I found that quite weird because I noticed that there was something on the Epic Game Store. It's like, I think it was a new release. Like, I think it was Battlefield. No, it was Star Wars Squadrons. I think that was getting released on the Epic Game Store as well.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh.
It's interesting.
I think maybe they made a big deal about Steam because people have been complaining it's not on Steam for so long. They're like, we're actually on Steam now. And then they can just like shadow drop, or not shadow drop, but just be like on Epic as well. But not maybe.
So they probably looked at how many users do we have using Origins? How many people are on Steam? How many more is that? That much? Okay, yeah, we should go on Steam.
Yeah.
And then move that Origins department to some other, some other project.
So
get them on something.
They just had the Mass Effect 2 and 3 on sale last weekend, which I bought, right? And now they've released Mass Effect 3 on Steam, which is on sale. And I have the first two on Steam already. I was like, damn it. I'm seriously about to buy this game twice just because I want to be...
Don't do it, Matt. They're going to release them remaster later in the year as well.
Yeah. Well, we can get
into...
Or
are they?
Yeah, we can get into how they don't... Yeah, they didn't mention it, so...
Yeah, it was just coming this year.
Before we get on to Star Wars talk, who else is really concerned about BioWare?
No more than usual.
Yeah.
Well, how much is that, though?
But you see, the only reason BioWare wasn't there, I think, is because they're simply not ready to show what they are doing. Like, I don't think Anthem. I don't think you'll see it again for like 2 or 3 years. Like, seriously, it's got like
Dragon
a small...
Age 4. There's been that.
Oh, we saw it.
Yeah, but do you remember when that trailer got released at the Game Awards a couple of years ago?
I thought we saw Dragon Age 4.
It actually started development that week. The week that trailer came out, the game restarted development. It's a long
I remember them saying that. Yeah,
we saw Dragon Age 4.
Yeah, but it was only a snippet. It wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was no. It was just those rubbish like it was for Battlefield. They're like, this is what our studios are doing, and just like things I didn't give a shit about. Then why did they put it in? Kind of attitude. But they did show some like graphics. If that's what you can call them.
Yeah,
to be honest, I respect them more for holding off on showing games that are years away. I really don't need to see anything that I'm not going to be able to play for years.
No, I agree with you, Liam. Yeah. I just think it's piss poor from EA, as it's the beginning of a next console generation, and had nothing for November. Sorry, I just find that piss poor from EA. I do. Well, I know you saying they're shit, but I just find it's just terrible.
My point is, Dan, is that if you go in expecting that, we've dealt with EA for the past 12, 13 years, and they've been nothing but utter shit. I don't know.
I realise, but normally it's the bullshit with their mechanics inside their game. They normally have a game. They didn't actually show. They showed stylizations of a game, but they didn't actually show any gameplay from any games on next gen, which I just find baffling. What are they all doing? What has all their studios been doing?
Gameplay.
They have nothing coming out this year.
Yeah, exactly.
And Star Wars Squadrons. That's literally the only big release they have this year.
Yeah.
It's just surprising that I'm looking here right now. Dragon Age Origins is 2009. Dragon Age 2 is 2011. Inquisition is 2014. And they say that apparently this Dragon Age 4 codename Joplin began in 2015. They released that trailer, like you said, at the Game Awards.
Joplin got cancelled. Joplin got cancelled, which was supposed to be the Janis Joplin of video games. But that project got cancelled, and then it got restarted a week before they showed off the trailer for it at the Game Awards back in 2018. I think it was.
Wasn't that? Didn't that coincide with Casey Hudson finally coming back?
I don't
he
think
came back
Casey
to fix
Hudson's
Mass Effect
involved
Andromeda.
with that game.
Wow.
Yeah, he's more the steward of the Mass Effect franchise.
Okay.
Whoa! Development of Dragon Age 4 was restarted under the codename Morrison.
That's
Just
it, Morrison.
stop. You gotta don't do that.
The next one's
please.
going to be Hendrix.
Yeah, but like it's quite interesting how it's like 2 years, 3 years, and now we have two trailers that years and years apart now that have zero gameplay. It's a bit worrying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if EA is forcing them to use Frostbite, I'm concerned.
They are.
They really should just let their studios use Unreal. The Frostbite is just like Origin. They're trying to force this internal proprietary
actually,
tech. And
something that I heard that was concerning was that actually they weren't forcing them to use Frostbite for this project in particular, nor the next Mass Effect. But apparently they've decided to use it anyway because they don't want to leave behind all of the engine updates they made during the development of Anthem. Which, if you ask me, is a terrible decision, but
that sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Terrible idea.
Yeah, I mean, because look at Respawn doing a phenomenal job, and all their shit's on Unreal.
Or Source Engine, which is 20 years old.
This is never going to be true because it's EA, or they're just holding off until Unreal 5 and they're going to start building all over again with Unreal 5, and that's why we haven't seen anything but a drawing for all intents and purposes. Because after 2 years, they showed us a drawing, basically like a computer drawing of a scene within a game. It's just ridiculous.
I didn't expect to see anything, so I'm not annoyed by it, personally. And, given how the game has literally just started development like 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, I just really don't think I didn't expect much from EA. I just wanted Mass Effect, and I couldn't even get that. So,
Well, there we go then.
All right, should we get on to Squadrons?
Yes. Matt, you're the most excited out of all of us for Star Wars Squadrons.
Yeah, my excitement is tempered by the price of the game. So what I am expecting is just a slightly more robust version of what we got in Battlefront 2. So what they showed us seems very elaborate. I don't think it's going to be quite what it's not going to be TIE Fighter 3.0 or whatever, but it looks really cool. I do like the fact that they're talking about a single player campaign, but by the same token,
two single player campaigns
merged together.
Yeah,
you play as a Empire and a Rebel, but
New Alliance.
Okay.
New Republic, even.
New Republic, yeah. But it's $40 for the game. So I have a feeling that the single-player campaign is probably going to be about an hour and a half. You're probably going to have 45 minutes with each pilot. You're going to learn the mechanics, and it's going to dump you into multiplayer. Now, if the multiplayer does not beat you over the head with gambling mechanics, and you're not opening loot boxes every other screen, I think
they'll be there, but you won't be paying for them.
Yeah.
So that's what they said. All unlockables are cosmetic only, and you earn them all in game. So when I heard that and I saw the cute little Ewok bubblehead, I wrote down 40 hours of gameplay to unlock that.
Okay, that's your prediction?
That's my prediction. It's going to be 40 hours of gameplay to unlock that Ewok bubblehead.
Oh, when that game drops, how long do we give it before someone crunches the numbers and releases a YouTube video? Like it's going to be almost instantaneous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I share the same reservations that you did, Matt, because I played Battlefront 2 and I thought the story was really disappointing. It could have been so much better than it was, but all the story did was just build on the mechanics for the multiplayer.
Yeah.
So I think this is just going to be the same thing. And this is what I said when I got a couple of downvotes when I posted this on Sifted. I think it's just going to be a bit of a cut and paste.
He remembers.
Of course I do. You remember Matt's birthday. I just remember everything else. I think this is just going to be, we've got all the assets from Battlefront 2. What did people mainly spend their time doing? Well, most people played the ship combat.
Yep.
So let's just make a game of that. Okay, bloke who wrote the story for Battlefront 2, which wasn't that great anyway, do you think you could shoehorn some shit
Mitch
into
Dyer.
this as well?
Who the games press won't stop, freaking jacking him off. It's like, oh, he worked as one of us. It's like, oh, he's the writer. He's fantastic, isn't he? Shut up.
And every podcast they mention that. That is
true. So pathetic. God.
you have to have the two different storylines, because there's no guarantee that when you get into the multiplayer, whichever your favorite faction is, there's going to be enough people to fill that squad.
Yeah.
So you might get booted into a faction that you didn't want to play as.
Well,
you need to learn how to play all of those different ship styles.
Exactly.
So all the story is going to be is, here's how to play as an X-Wing pilot. Here's how to play as a Y-Wing pilot. Here's how to play as a TIE fighter pilot. And then here's multiplayer, everyone.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it'll take you more than an hour and a half or 2 hours to get through that. And it was funny because my wife saw that and she was like, "Oh, they make you play as both. That's cool." And I was like, "Well, yeah, because they can't control who you're going to be in multiplayer."
That's fine.
Did anyone else pick up on this? That in all the shots of the New Republic pilots, they all had a little grin on their face.
No.
And all of the Imperial pilots looked like someone has shit in their cereal.
But that's amazing.
I couldn't tell, Keith, because of how the YouTube compression was making the stream exceedingly hard to watch.
Was it that bad?
Were you guys watching?
It was
watching live?
Yeah,
I was
live.
up at 6:30 in the morning and thought, okay, let's watch this. I wasn't staying up until midnight to watch.
That's why I'm so pissed off. Because I was up till 1 a.m. watching this shit, and that's why I take great offence to it. And I was also pissed off about the Nintendo Direct, the Pokemon thing as well. But that's a different
Pokemon
issue.
Snap, woo!
Yeah, that's good. But the rest of it, why do I need a fucking app to brush my teeth? Fuck off. Jesus Christ, Pokemon Company. And I'm having a child, and I think it's a bullshit application. Sorry, I was not happy about that. I want a fucking Pokemon game. I don't want fucking brush my teeth with my mummy app. Fuck's sake. Oh, you get to catch a Pokemon at the end of it because you brushed your teeth effectively. Like, fuck off. Sorry, sorry for swearing. I'm just like,
Dan's taking over my role.
It's not. I mean, okay, so you said you're having a kid, so this would be potentially something in your wheelhouse in the future. But of course, the brush the teeth app is not for you, right? We can all agree that
I realize that.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I realize it's not for me. But I was I think I was just disappointed. You know what I think it was at the end he was like, and next week we've got a great game to tell you about. What the fuck are you going to do in a week's time that you couldn't show me today? It just angers me.
Show more Pokemon Snap. That's enough for me to. I'd rather they just do Pokemon Snap, and that's it. No other bullshit. I'd have been okay with that. But they kind of were building up, and right then goes, "Oh, we have another game to show you, but you'll see it in a week's time." It's like, fuck you, Pokemon Company. Fuck you. That's how I felt about it. Build me up and cut me down.
Eating away at Dan this entire episode, and then just exploded out of him.
Just let it go. You got to let it out sometimes. It's
and then so you can see. Imagine I watched that on Tuesday, and that pissed me off. And then I watched EA on Thursday, and that just finished me off. And thank God Last of Us arrived, so I could kill some motherfucking zombies on Friday. Because I needed to. I was just not happy. And I think what it is I've realized what it is, because I think before PlayStations, I just thought all the announcements would be bullshit. But I was so happy with a lot of the stuff PlayStation came with. I got excited again about these one-off reveal things that they're doing, and put my expectations really high again, to them all get blown to smithereens. However, Pokemon Snap does look cool. Don't know if it's for me, but I can appreciate why people like that.
Right, so getting back to Star Wars Squadrons, I can confirm that there are no Pokemon in Star Wars. haven't had that crossover event just yet.
Sorry.
EA made a really big deal of crossplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I do like that.
It's nice. Yeah.
But have they finally figured out what everyone else knew last year? Well done.
Late to the party.
Yeah. So there's the three modes. So you've got the story mode where you play as the two different pilots. You've got a practice mode which surely the story mode should have told you that. And then you've got the multiplayer.
Yep.
Which is a 5v5.
No, you've got 2 modes in multiplayer.
Yeah,
You've
that's
got standard dogfighting, 5v5, and then you've got like ground operations in Battlefield.
Yeah.
So it's like ground operations from Battlefield 5. That's all they've done.
Yeah.
They've lifted that mechanic and put it into this Star Wars game.
So it's a cut and paste. Well done.
Yeah.
I called it.
Yep.
I'm happy with that.
And then I assume, they didn't say that, but I assume it'll be back and forth like Battlefield 5, where if you succeed, you move forward 1 space. If you fail, you'll move back 1 space until everything's destroyed. I think that will be what happens. Or it'll be a timer, and if you've destroyed more, you win.
Matt,
that's
are
probably
you
what's
buying a
gonna happen.
VR headset to play this game?
No, absolutely not.
I've got a strategy for buying this game.
Buy it on sale.
Is it wait for a sale?
It's called Wait Until the End of 2021 when PlayStation releases its next VR headset. Maybe wait until next year for a sale on that, honestly. Get that game for super cheap. They fixed the ridiculously stupid economy in the game. They've probably given a load of free updates. They've probably patched it for the new VR headset. The game looks even better than before.
Yeah.
And I can play it for £10.
I think my strategy is it'll be free on EA Access by December, so I'll just play it then.
That's probably true.
Because I got a year's EA Access for £19 in April, so I'm sure I'll just play. I'm not going to buy any EA games. I'll just play them for free when they come out. I don't need to buy them at launch, and they'll end up there.
Yeah,
So.
I think in terms of VR, if there were to be any game that would have gotten me to buy a VR headset, it would have been Star Trek Bridge Simulator.
Bridge Crew.
Bridge Crew.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to play that, but then I didn't ever get into it. And obviously, I didn't buy a headset.
No, yeah. So I'm not going to buy one for a Star Wars game, no.
And well, if we're going by colours at the moment, so if we were to play Star Wars Bridge Crew right now, Evan would be the captain because he's wearing the gold. Matt, you'd be at the science station again because you're in blue, and Dan would be the red shirt. Sorry, Dan.
Never mind. I'll die.
Does that mean I'm a Klingon?
You could be. Does that make me a Romulan then? Anything but a Ferengi. Evan's sort of what the hell are these idiots talking about?
I didn't watch any of this shit. I'm watching the Star Wars Squadron's official gameplay trailer for the first time.
But it's not gameplay.
Yeah.
It's so not gameplay.
That's what the video says.
It's in-engine is what it is.
It's in-engine footage, yeah.
And also, it's the typical kind of EA thing. We're going to explain to you what you could be doing and show it in a highly stylized way. Of course, when you actually get to play the game, it's very likely not to be this staged. Yeah. And you are just going to be chasing this person until you get shot from behind, and they show you your death cam, and then you come back in, and someone else has already got the best upgrades, and screw you guys.
My other thought was, it's a 5v5. That's a very empty galaxy. So surely, if there's no AI ships, it's going to be a fucking terrible thing to look at, isn't it? Because even on the trailers, they look like there was more than 10 ships in space.
Yeah.
So what are you doing in between finding the other team? There's got to be things you're doing, right?
So
like,
this
you're
is
just
the difference in the two
dogfighting.
modes.
Yeah.
So there's the dogfight mode, which is just a 5v5, basically deathmatch, team deathmatch, and then there's the staged mode. I can't remember what they called it.
No, me neither.
Something ops, I think it might have been, where you get different. So you get tasked to say blow up these 3 frigates and then take out a capital ship and then
okay, so you got to
destroy the space station.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So
see, like this,
like,
this shit where like there's a X-wing that goes low on a Star Destroyer and it starts shooting out like cannons. That looks cool, but 5v5, like I'm out.
It seems like they're keeping it small and focused, like to 5 players, per team for a reason, though.
Yeah, but we'd still need. I'd still need 5 people who own it who want to play it all at the same time.
I've already got 5 people.
I've
got 5 people who are buying it, so I do have a squad of 5. So if you do want to play it, Keith, and you want people to play with, I will have people, because the 4 guys I play Battlefield 5 with are all buying it. So they've already
You know,
said they'll buy it on
Dan,
day one.
You and your friends are part of the problem, mate.
Battlefield 5. I like it. I like the mechanic. I like being able to heal. I go around as a medic, heal shit. I enjoy that. I enjoy the not having to fucking die and end the game straight away all the time. But I also like, obviously, what's they called? Battle Royales as well. But
It was.
hey-ho.
I bought the Battle Pass
Be
for that
fair.
this morning as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh.
I haven't.
You guys,
Yeah.
all of you,
Good.
all four of you is a fucking problem here.
You tell us we've got a problem when you're sucking off a Naughty Dog's udders. Just
You
don't.
guys are
don't
fucking
come
playing free-to-play
with
games
your
and buying
udder
fucking
tickler that
colors.
you've got on your chin.
Yeah,
Is it-
it's great. I love
It
the
is
dribble off
delicious
my
milk,
beard.
though.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Evan, I think we all know you hate multiplayer games, so it's fine. Maybe one day we'll find one you'll like. Who knows?
I thought
I don't know
Dauntless would
about
be
that.
it
I mean,
because you
Yakuza
were
Online.
kind of keen on Monster Hunter,
Yeah.
except for the controls, and that was the one thing.
Except for the anthropomorphic cat chefs.
That's
Evan
it.
can't play that game because of it.
Yeah.
It's out. Fucking, we got to stop with cats. I'm not even kidding. There's just too many cats in video games. There needs to be more dogs, not just a pet. They need to be
So,
integral
can I
to the
ask this?
story.
And
I
kill them.
know we moved on from it, but has anyone killed a dog yet in Last of Us 2? Because I haven't.
Oh,
Jesus
you guys
Christ!
haven't
What
gone to
the
the dog
fuck?
yet.
What the fuck? Holy shit!
Because
No,
everyone
I've
talked
ne-
about that I'd kill loads of dogs, and I haven't done that yet, so I was curious if anyone else had.
No.
I'm really excited to get to the part. You know,
I've just pet a dog, but I haven't killed one.
Well, you're going to
I
have
will-
to because they use them.
I will not complete that game if that's what it comes to. I'll just put it down, put it back on the shelf, and go back to whatever the hell that was, Persona 5.
You know, it's your civic duty to put down rabid animals that are poorly trained.
You know what? I'm sick of this shit. The cats are the heroes, and then you got to shoot the dogs. What world do we live in where this is the case across games? Why isn't it rabid cats?
Evan, what you fail to realise is there's no such thing as a bad dog, only bad owners. So
it's
you
true.
killing the dogs is liberating them from their lives of oppression at the hands of the two evil factions within The Last of Us Part 2. So
Yeah,
actually
I
you're doing them a kind of euthanasia type service.
Just think,
Sure.
they'll be in doggy heaven enjoying all the trees.
And we know that
Yeah,
all
That's a
dogs
really
Dogs
good
are
movie,
bad.
by the way. All right, you frame it that way. I see your point. Yeah, you couldn't really have cats. It's not like you can train them to attack humans.
Yeah,
They just do that on their own.
do whatever the fuck they like.
Yeah, this fucking yeah.
Right, so
Got it.
we were so enthralled by EA's play event that we were talking about this
Oh,
garbage.
wait! You're missing something, Keith. The most important part.
Oh, Skate 4.
Yeah.
Excuse me while I revert to yawning.
Yeah.
It's just pointless because you don't even know when this is coming out. They're so early in development, they haven't even decided on a name for it.
I mean, I know people have been really keen on it, right? Like they've wanted another skate game for 8 years now. Is that how long it's been? 8 or 10?
I turned it off at this point.
Who's been asking for this? Who the fuck has been asking for so many fucking skateboarding games that we're going to get two probably in the same year?
Oh, the
Tony
whole
Hawk.
internet. You see, like seriously though, Keith, right?
No, Liam's right.
I
It's-
love skateboarding games. They're
Yeah.
fucking great. But the thing is, people have been asking for Tony Hawk games because Activision gave them games, but they were utter shit, terrible games. People stopped buying them. You know, EA's a different reason. It's like that they put out
Well,
Skate
why
3, it
does
sells
EA
well, and then
keep
they're just
making
like,
Need
nope.
for Speed games then?
Yeah,
I don't want-
nobody buys them.
Nobody
I-
buys them, and the last one people said wasn't as bad. The one before that was utter dog shit.
Yeah.
So, but they keep making them. I do not understand this. I do
In the
not
name,
get it.
man.
They must make
The
money
Need for
off
Speed.
of them.
I-
There's no way that they don't make money because they would stop making them if that was the case.
They don't
I don't
make
know.
They do
as much
make
money
money.
as they should, you know, because like.
But they
all
probably
the
make
games
money.
Last
They
generation
probably just-
sold a lot more.
Yeah, it's true.
Some of it probably
but
has
yeah, I
to
think-
do with the licensing deals with the car manufacturers.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do you think there's a lot of cross subsidizing going on?
Yeah.
Oh, I think so.
So we can take all of that sweet FIFA and Madden money and these licensing deals that we're getting from car manufacturers, and we can invest that in a skateboarding game that really no one wants.
Yep.
Because a few people asked
people
for it on the
definitely want
internet.
I would really like a remaster of SSX Tricky. That's what I would like. Fuck skateboarding. Give me some snowboarding.
I mean,
I'd like both.
SSX is.
I love the soundtrack to that game as well.
Liam is right in the fact that there is a bubble amongst people that the people that want Skate have been crying for Skate 4. Like, it's all over the place if you look for it. It's kind of a joke now. You know what? But fuck EA. Fuck EA. It's not like, it's not what do they make that I like. It's what do I like that they've destroyed. They fucking destroyed Dead Space. They've essentially destroyed Mass Effect. Fucking Madden.
Mirror's Edge.
Like, the last American football game that I actually bought was the ESPN NFL 2K5, and they knew that game was better because that was the year that they got the exclusive license for it. So Sega fucked off whoever published that, and they ruined that because ESPN NFL 2K5 was clearly better. I haven't bought a fucking NFL game since. They've ruined everything. Fuck Madden.
You do know that they've extended that exclusivity license through to 2024.
Yeah, they have. Yep, with Madden.
That should not be possible. That happened. That is such a fucking shame. We don't even have like in this round. We don't even have like a Pro Evolution Soccer FIFA thing going on. There's just nothing.
Not anymore. It died. It died at the end of the PlayStation 3. Pro Evolution was a better game, and then PlayStation 4. It's not been on the mark.
NFL 2K5 was a great game. I remember playing that at university when I was poor and broke, and I just sit there and the Green Bay Packers won every Super Bowl year in and year out. Close my eyes and taste the Titletown sweetness now. Now I have to rely on milk from Sony, which is actually quite delicious. But yeah, fuck EA.
And luckily this year you only have to wait a month for some more milk from Sony.
Yeah, EA's destroyed. They've destroyed more than they've made, in my opinion.
I've seen the pre-order bonuses that I get for Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes. Yeah, what are they?
I get a gold samurai armor outfit, which is more blue than gold.
Okay.
It's like Yanni and Jairus or whatever that was.
Yeah, and my horse gets a matching saddle and armor as well. So I'm going to be quite happy riding around the island of Tsushima dressed as a badass samurai.
That makes me happy.
26 days' time.
Just thinking about that, yeah. There are good things on the horizon if we want to end it on a positive note.
Well, no, let's end it on giving some snap grades for the EA Play Live. Why? This didn't even need to be a live event. Why? Why? Just so many whys. Right, so Matt, any final thoughts and a snap grade for EA Play Live 2020?
Squadrons is going to be a great game on sale. Overall,
it's on sale.
Yeah, no, seriously, I'll buy it on sale for $10 or $20. Not 40, but yeah.
Oh hell, even Titanfall 2 is good for $7.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I almost bought that again because that's on sale, and I don't have it on Xbox, but. Yeah,
I saw a speed run of that for charity, by the way. Did anyone else see that on the IGN Summer of Games stream?
No.
I was amazing. This guy's speed running Titanfall 2, and he did it in. I think he did it in just under an hour, and that wasn't even him trying to do his fastest time. But it was really impressive, and some of the stuff that they were talking about. So people were doing stuff, and then Respawn actually got in touch with the people who are doing games done quick. Said actually, there's something you can do here to do it even faster.
Wow!
So the guys at Respawn actually got involved, so that with the speedrun community, to try and help them out on games done quick to raise more money.
Nice.
Awesome. I really hope
cool.
I really hope that Respawn just stays in their little island away from EA Town.
Respawn Island.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
because
That's going to. Strangely enough, that's the name of the island in Rocket Arena.
I think it's a good sign that EA are giving Vince Zampella so much power within their company, because he's a gamer like through and through, and the actions that he's taken to protect. When they bought Respawn, like he must have made some agreement with them to protect his interests with the company.
Well, he's already gone through that shit with Activision, right? So
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
he must be very cautious about that.
I'm sure they had a draft of the contract already ready before they came to him.
Right? Because from experience, right? When he came back in, he's like, "Hey, I know how this works.
Yeah,
these are my demands if you want me back in," and they probably agreed to it.
Sorry, Matt, I interrupted you. You were talking, and so any final thoughts?
Goes the tradition.
I give EA Play a C+. Yeah. It's kind of average. I don't think it was
must try harder.
Yeah, I don't think it was quite as shit as everybody was complaining about, but it was okay,
Right, we'll do Liam next. Liam, any final thoughts on Snapgrade?
Well, I sort of agree with Matt, because the thing is, I give EA an F every year. Like, people always disagree with me, and I give them an F every year because they fucking deserve it. They're heinous, horrible. But this year, like, for all of the shit that I will continually give them, I think they deserve some kudos, because one, the show was more concise. It actually didn't waste your time as much with endless sports games, riffraff. It's a lot more enjoyable to watch when they actually just show games. And to be honest, they didn't show that much footage, but I can at least attribute some of that to coronavirus and the fact that they are probably on their knees, like trying to get those games done. And then there's the fact that they actually let their developers speak this year. None of this PR speak and bullshit that they usually go through. They actually, let's put Joseph Fares here. He's going to talk about his game and in a reasonable amount of time, and he's going to sort of let you in on what his world is going to be. So at least we don't get like a proper trailer for any of these things, but at least we know what they are. I think that's a good direction to go in. It's not their fault if they're lacking for content to show. I would prefer that they don't show content that isn't nearly ready, rather than. I mean, they're probably better just not to do the conference at all. But I'd give them a solid D-.
After all that, I'm thinking he's going to go. So yeah, right.
Better than that.
And then.
Sorry. I'll give him an F. I wasn't interested in anything that you guys talked about, so
I didn't watch. I didn't thought. Yeah, no.
No, I like you guys. You guys are like a B, maybe. But I didn't watch this. Yeah, I'll give him an F. It sounded like it sucked. So.
All right, Dan.
I don't know if the Americans use this system, but I'm giving them a U. They don't even get a grade.
Unqualified.
They get unclassified. Because they kept me up till midnight for a load of bullshit they could have released in a press statement, because they didn't really show us fucking anything. So they shouldn't even have fucking bothered turning up. I know Liam said, he hates the sports game bullshit, but actually at least that's showing something. They literally showed nothing. They showed two games. They showed two games that, were quite nice, but they could have been on any indie show at another time. Why you've kept me up till midnight to watch? Maybe I'm an idiot for actually staying up till midnight, probably.
There is a case to be made there.
That's true, Liam. I will take that. There is a case to be made. But Squadrons had already announced, so why didn't they do the blowout on Monday and leave us all alone for the Thursday thing? It just pissed me off, all this bollocks. Oh, we're going to show you more on Thursday. It was the same bullshit that happened with Xbox and Ubisoft and showing they're going to show us gameplay of Valhalla. The same bullshit. They didn't learn. They get a U.
Unclassified.
Okay, so it's just me then.
Yeah.
So I was never going to stay up until midnight to watch this thing to go to bed at 1 a.m. There was absolutely no need for this to be live. I think having it live actually detracted from how it could have been paced and flowed All of the things, look out for the golden letters. What are you on about? Some of
what does that mean, by the way? I didn't.
So they were doing a giveaway. So
Yeah.
there was gold letters spelling out EA Play Live, and if
Right.
you went and used it as a code on Steam, you could get a free EA game, but you didn't know what it was. It was probably going to be Apex Legends because it was free anyway.
Surprise, surprise.
That
would have been funny, by the way.
The Hazelight game and the Game Boy Zoink games Lost in Random look quite interesting. The rest of the stuff I really had no interest in. Star Wars Squadrons looks like it could be a grindy load of bollocks, but I'll have to wait for people to actually play it and see what it actually plays like.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of with Liam. I'm going to have to give it a D. I don't think we can give it an unclassified because they did actually.
What's the accumulation?
Yeah, it's just my anger from the week. So it probably doesn't deserve a U, but I just felt like it needs to get.
All right. So the one thing I will say, Dan,
You're
the
right,
one thing
man.
that I will say, Dan, is they weren't going to announce Squadrons until Thursday, but because Microsoft fucked up and they had the title card on Xbox's website.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I was
why they showed
so
the same trailer again during the conference.
That is funny.
so
Wow.
I
That is so funny.
I was on the toilet at work on my phone, and I was like, let me check Xbox, let me see what games are for sale, and I was like, what the hell is this? There's a new Star Wars game out. Nothing on Sifted. I couldn't log in because the site was like they were trying to fix it in the back end.
Sure. Wow.
Can I say
That's
one
pretty
thing,
wild.
actually? The one thing I haven't mentioned, no one's talked about. This was codenamed Project Maverick. I quite like that because obviously of the Top Gun reference.
I can't wait for
He's a
this.
fighter pilot.
I can't wait for the sequel.
So it's an F-
Project Goose.
then rather than a U.
Yeah, maybe.
Just because
Maybe
of
because of that. There's that one little thing that I think that was quite good. Maybe it should be an F-, but who knows?
Yeah. So Ewok bobblehead. That kind of took it up a bit, and then I thought, yeah, this is going to take at least 40 hours to unlock that. So yeah, no. And the fact there was no even reference to Mass Effect remaster. So yeah, D. And creepy face man.
Yeah,
That brings it up a half a grade.
That brings it up? Are you sure about that?
Yeah. So we've got F, D-, D, and a C+. Where does
that
that average out?
That is fucking terrible. That is so bad.
Thinking about it, I gave PlayStations a B. I think I'd change that. I'd probably change that to probably an A.
Oh, if you're comparing it to what's been out so far, yeah, definitely.
It's been the best thing so far this year, I would say.
Yeah, but we've got Xbox coming up, and then we've got Ubisoft Forward, which is another really weird.
Oh god, that could be another U, boys. That could be another U. Ubisoft, whatever bullshit it is. We'll have to wait and see.
Bring it.
As long as they.
I hope Liam, I hope you're right, but I'm back in pessimism mode.
The thing with I think a lot of people need to do better at controlling their expectations.
That is also true.
I don't mean this as a slight to you, Dan. It's just people really do, because I mean, if you look at what EA had in development, all of their projects are years away. So
Liam,
they really can't talk about them.
All they had to do to up my grade was show me actual gameplay of FIFA and show me gameplay of Madden. Because I am a sports fan, and it just pissed me off. Why aren't you showing me? These games are supposed to be next gen in November. It's ridiculous.
That's the thing, though, because as much as it's
happy.
missing from the conference, most people would still see that as a waste of time.
Yeah.
I mean, I find it weird that
even though those two games basically pay for everything that EA does.
That pays for their whole thing, Liam. That is their most profitable game, and they didn't even show it. It's just bullshit.
Because the amount of people that tune into EA shows like this aren't actually that interested.
No, because they'll buy it anyway.
They need to sell these
games
games elsewhere, and I've been waiting years for them to realise that.
They don't
finally
care.
realised,
Yeah, that's
even
true.
if it was
But they
during
didn't
the
even
French year.
But then But then they didn't show Mass Effect. They didn't like. It was just. I just think it was poor and it wasn't needed. I think the main reason why I was so critical of it is because they didn't need to do an event. Basically,
I'm not talking about EA, because I gave them a D-. So I agree that EA's bad. What I'm telling you is that you can expect more from Ubisoft because they have Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
They have the new Assassin's Creed.
I hope so.
Gods and Monsters. Tom Clancy, they have Far Cry. New Far Cry is going to get announced.
Yeah, so, I think you are
just
right.
Automatically,
just a negative man.
Wait a minute. A new Far Cry is going to be announced.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man,
Liam,
awesome.
Apparently, it's going to be a return to the sort of aesthetic of Far Cry 3.
Yeah. I think
Liam, and it's not going to be set in the US.
No.
Yeah. Liam,
somewhere else. Yeah.
What I'll say, Liam, is I will go back to me being pessimistic of these shows and let them prove me happily right, rather than after PlayStation be optimistic again and be proved miserably wrong. I think that's what probably my mindset I'll revert to.
Exactly. Basically, then you're just training yourself to feel like you're Scottish.
Well, it is inside me. I haven't got Scottish blood in me, Keith, so it probably is just poking out.
So yeah, this is just welcome to my world.
It's like you're not going to be interested in anything that's happening in the next few weeks. So just ignore everything that's happening in gaming news until the or the Ubisoft.
So what I'm going
to do? We have a date for that.
For the
12th.
The 12th of July is the Xbox event.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And it's on at stupid o'clock in the morning for us, I think.
Who is it? Oh.
I'll have to check the timetable. But what I'm going to spend most of my time doing now is just spamming Liam and Dan with invites for Warzone, even though I know that you're both going to be playing The Last of Us Part 2. And so you get so pissed off. It's just with those notifications flashing up all the time.
Turn it off.
Keith, if you want to play a game of Warzone now, I'll happily play some Warzone with you before I go back to The Last of Us. But if it's not immediate, then I am going to be playing The Last of Us.
I think I can bow out of The Last of Us quite easily because I want to sort of savor it. So
yeah, Liam, I saw your tweet, and I'm actually kind of thinking the same thing. Maybe I should hold off and savor it a bit. Yeah.
Evan, are you gonna jump on Warzone with us?
Okay. Fuck no. Fuck no.
Fuck
no. That is absolutely not.
Have you got 100 gig of hard drive space?
You can actually shrink it down to 60 on your PlayStation. They've shown you how to do it.
Wait, do you hear that? Hear all those bikes? So there's a funny thing. Even in Japan, these fucking these bike hooligans, they only start revving their engines up and down the street on Friday and Saturday because it's the week. They're so fucking polite that they're not going to do it during the week. That's how polite they are in Japan. I
thought you were going to say something. Did you hear that? That's the sound of the PS4 fan as it kicks in on the Warzone menu.
Oh my God.
It was actually the bikes outside.
Yeah.
Oh no, The Last of Us takes off as well, but it does settle. When you first load it up, it goes, and then I'm like, is it going to blow up? And then it just settles eventually.
I'm a little bit worried about my PlayStation, considering I just keep going back and forth between those two games now.
I know, Liam. I'm thinking my fan would have burnt out by the time the PlayStation 5 comes out, so it'd be a good time to buy one.
We're going to need
them. We're all going to need a PlayStation 5, whether we like it or not, because it's going to hit the ceiling. And
they're mechanically designed to explode the day the PlayStation 5 comes out.
Yeah.
I guess if it's quiet,
Matt really wants to end the show.
Yeah.
I can tell it in his eyes.
I'm gonna cut it. But on that note, looking forward to Just Dance, guys.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I love it.
I'm actually glad that you reminded me about that because now, the panda has to show up clearly.
I'm really excited for the panda on Zoom. At the beginning of the conference.
So I'm going to get before I get caught. See you.
No, Liam, I do agree with you. I was too optimistic of EA.